Welcome or welcome back to another episode of Salon Diaries. Today I want to talk about a phrase that I have an internal struggle with, and that phrase is, a master of many is a master of none. And for some reason, that phrase doesn't sit well with me, only because I've grown up thinking I could do it all. And because I have a vast variety of interests, the thought of just being confined to one particular skill or discipline in order to reach a level of mastery seems like a nightmare to me. I remember some of my teachers in elementary and high school, and whenever it was the first day of school, they would introduce themselves to the class and talk about how long they've been teaching at that particular school. And I always wondered to myself, how could someone stay in one place for so long and not, I don't know, get tired of doing the same thing over and over and over again? And this is not to take a diss at teachers or anyone who chooses to stay in their profession for a long time. And maybe this is just me being young and not really understanding how work life works. But I always thought that when I grow up, I'm never going to limit myself to just one way of living. Y'all remember the Bee movie? Okay, for those of us who didn't have the pleasure of watching a classic, basically our main character, Barry Benson, graduates from college and is now expected to get a job. But when him and his friend goes to the job board, the person behind the desk basically tells him that once he picks a job, he would be stuck doing that job for the rest of his life. And it doesn't sit well with Barry. And that's basically how I feel whenever it comes to the idea of just doing one thing over and over and over again. But then I come back to hearing that phrase echo in my mind. A master of many is a master of none. And I'm borderline a competitive perfectionist and want to always strive to be the greatest at whatever I put my mind to, but mastery in any field requires time, focus, and energy. And I recognize that if I keep hopping from one thing to another, then I'll just never reach a level of mastery within any of those skills. Like for instance, I love this hair business I've created for myself, and I definitely want it to go far, but I can't see myself only doing hair or being a hair braider for the rest of my life. But I want to master this craft at the same time. It's do you see what I mean? This internal battle I have within my head. Maybe it's just that I lack focus and want to stretch myself beyond my own capabilities. Let's try to break this down with an analogy. Think of a duck. You can say a duck is a great animal because it has the ability to fly, walk on land, and also go into the water for a minimal amount of time. But you would never say a duck is the best at any of those things. Like the cheetah who masters the land, or a falcon who masters the sky, or a shark who masters the water. Now those animals are the masters in their own right, but a duck is able to do all three. Now, there's no right or wrong answer here, but would you say it's better to be a duck, or better to be an animal who's the master of their own skill?